Hello, my fellow demons, angels, mortals, and, of course, awesome otherworldly beings. We're back at again with another video. As you can see, it is part 2 to the personas. Today we are talking about Rosalyn and Dawn. Starting with Rosalyn, she is what I would consider my rebellious teen stage of personas. She was really aloof, and she was also my only lesbian character that I... Never mind. She was my only lesbian character at the time. I do have, I think, 2 or 3 now. But long story short, she was... chaos. I don't think I ever gave her a last name, so... her only name that I know of right now is Rosalyn, and if I did give her a last name, it is probably Richards, just like Emma and Star. Her age? I'm not too sure if I remember. I think it was around 20. You know, just to fit in with the storyline of the roleplay I created her for. Her occupation. You know, starting with basics. I think she was... I don't... She owned a bar. Or... Yes, she owned a bar. I was trying to remember who owned the bar. She owned a bar. She also lived out in the woods. She was friends with a shit ton of wolves, because, yeah, again, rebellious teen stage of OCs. You gotta have all of the overused drama. I live with a pack of wolves. I'm a lost princess. She's not, but you know what I'm getting at. She was a hunter. She lived in the wolves. She had a terrible backstory that, not terrible as in, like, terribly dramatic backstory that I can't remember anymore. That caused her to go and live in a forest with a whole bunch of wolves. She ended up growing a connection with this one black wolf. Again, I can't really say again, I don't know if I've ever said it in any of my videos. Black wolves are what I think one of the most majestic and terrifying creatures that are there. They are gorgeous, and their eyes stand out beautifully against their fur, especially at night. So she had a friend type connection with this black wolf that protected her from other things, and it was a Wild West type roleplay. So, chaos. And it was set back in time a little bit where things like lesbian relationships were forbidden. They were looked down upon. You were cast out as a witch. She fell in love with one of the main girl characters there, and I wasn't able to figure out how to stop them from knowing. But, you know, it happened. It was a great roleplay. Eventually they found out, I think. But the roleplay ended up dying really soon after, so yay! Rosalyn wasn't murdered. I think she came close to being murdered once or twice, but other than that, she was really serious and aloof at the same time. She made some good revenue with the bar. Everyone there seemed to like her. And I think some of the man characters ended up, like, hitting on her, and she was like, everything's fine, don't worry about it. And, which was great for when she had a girlfriend. She ended up getting really defensive, I'm pretty sure. But again, my memory is shit, so I could be wrong with this. It happened a long time ago. And sadly wasn't one of the biggest roleplays in my life, so I wasn't able to remember a lot of it. But I do remember my character and how she acted more than how she was in general. So, yeah, she was a crazy little bean, lived in a forest with a pack of wolves nearby, pretty much had a familiar who would spy on her in a sense to keep her safe. I'm pretty sure this wolf had a name, but I can't remember it for the life of me right now. Why I created them? I think it was again just the rebellious stage of my life where, you know what, I want to go live in a forest with a pack of wolves at my side at all times. It'd be the best thing ever and no one can stop me type of deal. So that's why they were created. They were just so I wouldn't run off with a pack of wolves, because, you know, that's all fairy tale chaos. I was gonna get eaten alive. And I was gonna be okay with that. But yeah, that's Rosalyn. Wasn't an OC or wasn't a persona for very long, let alone had a good amount of storyline to go along with her. And she didn't stick very long. Now, Dawn, on the other hand, she was my first fursona. Proper fursona. She was aloof and crazy and calm at the same time. She was really, well, what's the word? She was able to control her emotions and stuff very well, but she was very hyper at the same time. So instead of having this chaotic, fluffy ball of chaos moving around at high speeds all throughout the house at stupid hours of the night, Dawn was the kind of person who would just go excited extremely mentally. All of her excitement would go straight to her head. She'd kind of like bounce in place, but her mind would be running more than her body, I guess. She was the part of me that was calm even at the worst of times, and able to look at the bright side of things, even if everything was looking like it was going to explode. She was there just making funny faces, in a sense. You know, just sitting there is like, you know what? We're having a great time as we're sitting in a cage above a volcano. And I'd be like, why? How are we having a great time? It was like, well, we've never been in a cage before, and the lava's pretty cool to look at. You know, like an overly optimistic nerd. Dawn was a fun being to create, and even if she didn't last as a persona for very long, it was nice having the experience of having a fursona at the time and being able to kind of put myself out there. I was going to mainly use her as, you know, animation basis. Being able to make animation memes with the fursona is a lot easier, in my opinion, than making a fursona with a person OC, or a normal persona. Because it's a lot more difficult just to animate something fluently or have a lot of bounce to it when you can't animate fur. Because humans don't have fur. They have hair that you can manipulate really well, but they don't have fur. So, Rosalyn was there, Dawn was there. I'm only halfway done and I don't know how to continue this. You know what? We'll probably talk enough about Emma 2.0. So, while we're here, we're gonna have fun and start talking about the next being, Evanora or Esmiel. They were probably the biggest being in my life for getting to know myself. They didn't last very long, but they were there. It started off as kind of just a ghost-like character that I tried really hard to put my feelings into, in a sense, when I was in a really depressed time and only wanted to be a ghost. So, taking on spots where I would consider I have the most scars, whether it be in person or for most of my personas. Hence the split neck with pretty much all of my personas now. She was the biggest trauma dump I had without actually trauma dumping on her, and if anything, she was there to make sure that I was okay with myself, and you'll see me refer to them as she a lot, because that's something I'm still most comfortable with, but she was actually gender fluid. That's why she had two names, Evanora or Esmiel. They were a cute little bean, pretty calm and quiet, They didn't have much for personality, as they were just a ghost. They were okay, and I put a whole bunch of different, like, death type of problems into this person. She had her arms torn open, her leg torn open, and her neck torn open, representing different spots of scars and things that were really meaningful to me. All the scars for Rosalyn, on the other hand, that was all just lore for the storyline she was in, because she lived in a woods. In the woods. Bleh. So yeah, she's got bite marks and scars everywhere and cuts on her knees for being a klutz. But I try and give a lot of my personas the scars that I have, except, of course, the scar on the neck. I do not have a scar on my neck. I just find it really odd that it is something that most of my characters have now. I can't remember the starting of it. I think I gave Emma a scar on her neck before the storyline of it even happened. Kinyara has a scar on her neck because she was decapitated, and that's how she got her demon form. Dawn does not. Dawn was okay. Rosalyn, she has scratches on her neck, but not the same thing. Dawn's okay. She only has mini scars. Evanora, she's got the giant cross across her neck. Cut across her neck. And then Emma 2.0, going back to basics, the regular scar across her neck. Whew, wow, I'm losing my mind and my breath. But Evanora, or Esmiel, was probably one of the better awakenings I've had with my personas. She made me feel a lot more comfortable in being able to experiment with what I was feeling, and eventually helped me realize that I was gender fluid, or, well, on the gender fluid spectrum. I would more identify with, I think it was called demi-fluid, because the flag's really pretty. It's one of the demi-fluids. It's either demi-girl or demi-fluid. Either way, it's the one with the better flag, with the rainbows, and it's not known enough. And I'm rambling about things that aren't connected to my personas anymore. Woo! You'll actually realize with some of them, and it's hard to point out at this moment, if you notice where the pants are, you'll notice the, I guess in a sense, gender I give these characters. If it's more of a V, female. If it is more of a... I guess in a sense a T, then it is a male character. Genital-wise, if you will. And this helped a lot with trying to fix my more gender-fluid-like characters, and being able to experiment with a whole bunch of different things. But as you'll see from, I think, Dawn and further, I stopped giving them female bits, as I'll say, because it was more comfortable to not. It was better, it made me feel better to have them be able to shift, and with Evanora being a ghost, she was able to just shift whichever way she wanted, until I felt more comfortable with what I wanted in general. Dawn was the first experiment, and it was more just being able to draw it than, I guess, be expressed as it. And if you guys didn't know, I go by she, her pronouns still, but it's more of a she, her, or they, them, I don't mind. Whew, I'm running way out of steam here. I should have taken a break between recording these two. You know what, we're gonna have a little bit of a quiet break, you know? We're gonna relax. We're gonna chill. How much time is left? Yeah, we're gonna chill for a whole 30 seconds. You know what? No, we're not. I can talk for 30 seconds. It's fine. Can I? I can ramble for 30 seconds. I should start making scripts for these videos. I would have made scripts for these videos. 100%. The problem is, I'm leaving tomorrow. And by tomorrow, I mean the 22nd, because these are going up throughout the time I'm away. So as these are all happening... Santa hat. As these all happened, I'm sitting here trying my best to record these the day before I go, because I procrastinated a little too much. So I didn't take any break between recording the first and second, and that's why I'm running out of steam really bad. But I did get what I wanted to say out for Rosalyn, Evanora, and Dawn. I said that in the wrong order. Woo! Hopefully, in the next episode, I'll be able to explain enough about Emma 2.0 it fills up most of the video. And for the rest of it, I hope I'll be able to go back and explain a few different things that I missed. But for the meantime, I hope y'all enjoyed. Remember to stay happy, stay healthy, and stay creative, everyone. Bye!